Georgia was hot. Not to mention the heat that lingered from earlier that day in the shop, when the industrial ovens had churned out countless cakes, muffins, and loaves. "For you, always," Rosemary smiled, an expression with genuine warmth, as the tall man in the well-cut gray suit dropped a kiss on her smooth cheek before crossing to the small table where Emma sat. Tossing a manila envelope beside the plate of cake samples, he dipped his head to kiss her. His lips pressed against hers, the embrace familiar and warm. But there were no fireworks. There never had been. Maybe there had never been a chance. They'd known each other since they were children, had seen each other through skinned knees and braces and adolescent awkwardness. But wasn't a slow burn better than something hot and wild that would inevitably burn itself out? "I'm starving. My day went cattywampus and I didn't get a chance to have lunch." Taking the fork that Rosemary handed him, he slid into the empty chair beside Emma and scooped up a big bite of the lemon and raspberry cake, moaning as he chewed. "As always, compliments to the chef." "Suck up." Rosemary grinned at her future son-in-law with an openness that she rarely showed to Emma. As always, it stung, but she understood why her mother and her fiancé had always been close. They'd had far more in common than Emma had with her own mother. Matthew had even followed Rosemary into the food industry, something that didn't appeal to Emma in the least. "It isn't sucking up if it's true." Quickly working his way through the other pieces, Matthew finally scooped up the chocolate. "Saving the best for last." "I like the vanilla." "Rosemary, this chocolate is the best thing you've ever baked." Matthew grinned at Emma as though he hadn't even heard her. "We have to go with the chocolate." The thin trickle of irritation that had been riding her since she'd sat down in the kitchen flared into anger. She didn't want the chocolate. She didn't like chocolate. She wanted the vanilla. This isn't really about cake, and you know it. As always, she swallowed what she really wanted to say. To distract herself, she reached for the envelope that Matthew had tossed onto the table. "Is this the marriage license?" "Don't open that!" Matthew spoke sharply as he tried to grab the envelope back. Emma exhaled, startled, reflexively jerking it out of reach. "What are y'all talking about?" She watched with amazement as her fiancé and her mother exchanged a look that she couldn't decipher. "I want to look at our marriage license. What is wrong with that?" "You don't want to get cake on it." Smoothly, Rosemary reached for the envelope, her smile faltering when Emma kept her grip tight. "Come on now. We'll look at it later." "Why don't you want me to look at this?" Part of Emma, most of her, wanted, as always, to please her mother, to hand over the envelope and smooth things over. The other part, it was still worked up enough over the cake for her to stiffen her spine just the slightest bit. Watching the other two warily, she slid a finger under the edge of the sealed flap. "Emma." Matthew reached again for the envelope, but an arched eyebrow had him pulling back with a flinch. Her mother watched her slit open the envelope with no expression on her perfectly made-up face, but a flicker in her eyes showed Emma her unease. What is going on? The envelope open, Emma pulled out the official piece of paper. She scanned it quickly, cocking her head in confusion when she saw the information listed under bride. Who on earth is Emma Nagorski? Chapter 2. Matthew and Rosemary were silent, but Emma caught another quick look pass between them, and her stomach roiled with unease. "Didn't you look at the paper before you left?" she asked Matthew. Surely this was just a clerical error. What else could it be? "I don't understand what all the fuss is for. Just go back and get it reprinted. But make sure you do it tomorrow. I'd like to check it off the list."